C University, though I dropped out.
What? So does that mean you only have a high school diploma? Huh? A high-rise apartment? Is he rich? Well then.
Are you really sure about this? It's not too late. I can go alone if you want. I just finished picking out a gift. My name is Mitsuki Kiryu. I'm a 26-year-old self-employed guy, about to visit the family home of my fiancée, Tsukiyo Nanase, to ask for her hand in marriage. We just got engaged and are starting to live together.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The reason I asked is because of her family situation. Tsukiyo is 4 years older than me. From what I've heard, her parents doted on her younger sister and treated Tsukiyo coldly. Because of that, she's barely seen them since graduating college.
Asking for permission to marry is something we should do together, right? I need to do things properly too.
Okay, I understand. I'll back you up as much as I can. After that exchange, we arrived at her parents' house. We'd arranged the date to coincide with her younger sister, Haruka, and her boyfriend, Kazuya Sakaki, being there. But
Mom, how's your back been, by the way? Oh, right. Kazuya, you work at M&I, don't you? So impressive. Just like your distinguished appearance.
Wow, the M&I. That's quite something. My daughter certainly has good taste in men.
it went on like this. No matter what Tsukiyo or I said, her parents ignored us and kept talking to Haruka and Kazuya. They're being really blatant about it.
Yeah, sorry.
We seem to have been talking only about ourselves. We should hear about you two as well, Mitsuki. As he passed the conversational baton to us, Kazuya shot me a wink with a smug, yet refreshing smile. Thanks, I guess, but man, this is annoying.
Ah, right. So, Mitsuki, which university did you attend?
C University, though I dropped out.
What? So does that mean you only have a high school diploma? Sis, are you serious? Well, I guess education isn't everything, but still. My boyfriend is an elite, you know. His education doesn't matter. He works hard, and he's precious to me. Oh, wow, that's lovely. I don't understand it, but...
Well, education isn't everything these days. Mitsuki, what do you do for work? Even as he said that, I didn't miss the fleeting, mocking smile he gave me. I'm self-employed. Actually now I'm...
Self-employed? An uneducated young punk running his own business? That's no different from being a freeder.
Dad, wait, he's...
Tsukiyo, this is your problem. Aren't you ashamed of yourself at your age?
What's that supposed to mean?
Your younger sister Haruka grew up to be such a bright and considerate girl. And she brought home a fine boyfriend, a graduate of a top university working for a top company, putting our minds at ease. But you finally show up after ages and you're still as unsociable as ever. Is work your only redeeming quality? That's why you end up with a good-for-nothing freeloader like this guy, whose background we don't even know.
Wait a minute. Say whatever you want about me, but talking about Tsukiyo like that isn't right, is it? She's your precious daughter, isn't she? I stared intently at her father. Then, unbelievably, he snorted with laughter, mocking me.
Precious indeed. I hoped she'd catch a good man, but with you as her partner...
What do you mean by that? Apologize to him. He's...
Tsukiyo, it's okay. It doesn't seem like we can talk any further, so we'll be leaving now. Thank you for having us today.
Do whatever you want.
In the end, we couldn't even have a proper greeting. We basically just dropped off the gift and the marriage meeting ended on a terribly sour note. Tsukiyo, I'm sorry. You didn't want to go to a place like that, did you?
I'm the one who said I wanted to go. I'm used to it, and I gave up on them long ago. But hearing them talk about you like that, it's rough.
Saying that, Tsukiyo bit her lip tightly.
Hey, do you remember when we first met?
Nanase, I wanted to discuss this feature. Tsukiyo was the team leader at a client company where I was participating as an external member on a product back then. She was competent, but businesslike and blunt. I think she seemed isolated even from an outsider's perspective.
This is certainly convenient, but isn't it just confusing for the average person?
You think so too? Got it. I'll adjust it by 5 p.m., so please take another look then. Nanase, I've finished the adjustments. Please review it again.
Kiryu, no, it's nothing.
She looked at my face, her eyes widening slightly. I didn't miss the faint, somewhat happy smile that followed.
You know my personality, right? I say things bluntly, and my sharp gaze often makes me look scary. On top of that, for better or worse, I could handle anything skillfully, which probably made me seem even creepier. I try hard to at least seem amiable, but I couldn't do it well. That's why my parents doted on my charming sister. By the time I became an adult, I'd come to think of it as normal. It was around that time that I met you, with your sparkling eyes.
Well, your way of speaking is harsh, but I immediately knew you were just a bit awkward with words and fundamentally kind. Besides, well, sorry, you were totally my type, and honestly, I had ulterior motives.
I appreciate your honesty. You saved me. Just being with you makes my world shine. So please, don't get depressed over my insignificant family. You're my sun that brightens me up.
I really can't win against her. Seeing her gentle, moon-like smile, I fell in love with her all over again. I'm home. I'm beat. Later, Tsukiyo and I finished moving into our new place and officially started living together.
Thanks for working late again today.
Startups like ours run on a skeleton crew, you know? Tsukiyo, working at a large corporation with its own culture, often gets to leave on time, but I frequently work late into the night. Despite the differences in our work environments and lifestyles, living together was going smoothly. Today is a day off. We came to the park for a little picnic, thinking it would be nice to relax in nature once in a while. I wish moments like these could last forever.
You sound like an old man. But yes, I feel the same way. Hey, Mitsuki. Living together, have you started to think maybe you don't like me after all? I feel like I'm still saying harsh things to you, and it makes me anxious.
Not at all. I know you're considerate of me, Tsukiyo. It comes through clearly. Conversely, am I causing you any trouble?
No, Mitsuki respects me and shares the housework. Being with Mitsuki makes every day the best. You know, I always thought a happy family was something far removed from me. But living together, I've increasingly felt that maybe, with Mitsuki, I can be happy.
Yeah, me too. With you, Tsukiyo, who can respect our differences, I think we can definitely be happy. For that to happen, I need to wrap up my current work quickly. And try harder to match my schedule with yours, Tsukiyo. Meanwhile...
Maybe I rushed into getting engaged to Kazuya. But then again, it's not often you find a guy you can easily manipulate and wrap around your finger.
Haruka was heading home after some shopping.
What's that? What do you want for dinner?
I'd love your Neapolitan pasta. Haven't had it in a while. I'll make the salad.
Huh? A high-rise apartment? Is he rich? Well then.
A A few weeks later, Tsukiyo and I were back at her parents' house. We had received an invitation from Haruka. I never thought we'd come here again. Honestly, I thought if it happened, it'd be much later, and I'd be alone. I didn't want to bring Tsukiyo here anymore, but she herself strongly insisted.
I'd always given up, but thinking about it now, unlike when I was a child, it feels like I'm just running away. For our future together, I don't want to keep vaguely running away like this. Today, I'm cutting ties.
Don't push yourself too hard. Cutting ties isn't the only answer, and you have me now.
Yeah, thank you.
Taking a deep breath, we stepped into Tsukiyo's family home once again.
Mitsuki, here's some tea for you.
Just as I braced myself for whatever they might say, something unexpected happened. A complete change from their previous attitude. Tsukiyo's family started talking to me in cloyingly sweet voices. Yeah, thanks, but it seems there's no tea for Tsukiyo.
Oops, silly me. I'm so sorry.
Haruka said this, feigning disappointment with an exaggerated droop of her shoulders. Despite apologizing, she sat right back down, so I silently placed the tea in front of Tsukiyo.
I won't comment on the lack of tea for me. More importantly, can we get to the point? The reason we came today is...
Right, let's get to the point. The reason I called you two here today is... Mitsuki, break off your engagement with Tsukiyo and marry Haruka instead.
Huh?
Haruka told me. You live in a high-rise apartment, don't you? I happened to see it and was so surprised. Isn't that where all the rich people live? And then I looked you up and found out you're a company president.
It finally clicked. They realized I had money, and that's why their attitude changed. After going independent, my business took off. A year ago, I incorporated and established MK Education Inc. Now, as a startup, the company is steadily growing. By the way, mistakenly saying I was self-employed the other day was just an old habit kicking in due to nervousness. Now, I'm glad I made that mistake.
Seriously, why didn't you tell me, sis? Because you guys said horrible things to Mitsuki before I could, didn't you? What was it again? Something like an uneducated young punk running his own business is no different from a part-timer?
Ah, that was my bad. But you can understand the misunderstanding, right? Dropping out of college and not having a steady job. Many people like that are indeed good-for-nothings.
Mitsuki dropped out of college because he started a business while still enrolled and got too busy with it. Besides, a part-timer is someone who works part-time or temporary jobs under an employment contract with a company. A self-employed person is someone who runs their own business without being employed by anyone. Dad, you seem to think they're the same, but a part-timer and a self-employed person are completely different.
What was that so? Wow, Tsukiyo, you're so knowledgeable. I'm so happy to have such a smart daughter.
Isn't this common knowledge? Making assumptions and looking down on someone without even knowing the difference? I'm utterly embarrassed by your lack of education, Dad. Weren't you an elite graduate from a prestigious university in the West, Dad? You were always bragging about it. Tsukiyo! What have you been saying to your parents all this time? Your father just made a little mistake, and you're blabbing on as if it's the shame of a lifetime. That's right. Everyone makes mistakes. Sis, you're too cold.
Her father nodded along vigorously to their words. And this guy graduated from a prestigious university? I knew the quality of students had dropped recently, but this seems like a different kind of poor quality altogether. Anyway, we seem to have strayed from the topic, so let me bring it back. The main point was that you want me to marry Haruka, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yes! Oh dear, I apologize for this unseemly display. Look, Tsukiyo might be good at her job, but, well, You see what she's like, right?
That's true. I met Tsukio through business, and even back then, she was an incredibly capable and wonderful person.
Really? But as a company president, you'll have occasions to introduce your wife to important people, right? Tsukio isn't capable of supporting her husband like that. On that note, Haruka excels in that area. We thought that for you, President Mitsuki, the charming and cute Haruka will be more suitable than such a flawed daughter.
They were technically my in-laws to be. I intended to maintain minimal courtesy, but... support her husband? You guys really are rotten to the core, aren't you? I couldn't do it. It was too unpleasant. I couldn't hold back my laughter.
What kind of talk is that? Have you no manners?
Manners? I don't want to hear that from people who can't even teach manners to their own daughter. Isn't that why she grew up into such a shameless hussy?
What? You're not talking about me, are you?
Oh, I'm glad you realized. Well, trying to steal your sister's fiancé, that's an idea only a shameless hussy would come up with. If you hadn't realized, you'd be an even more irredeemable fool.
How rude! Saying that to our lovely Haruka? Apologize immediately.
Isn't it strange? You easily insult Tsukio, who is also your daughter. But the moment I say something slightly bad about Haruka, you react like this? If you want an apology, shouldn't you apologize to Tsukio first? Apologize for doting only on the charming and obedient younger sister, and for coldly treating the brilliant older sister who saw through her parents' terribleness early on and cut her losses.
What a rude man! Just like the man my sister chose. There's a limit to having bad taste. We wouldn't want you anyway.
Well now, Haruka, that's a bit...
What is it? Dad, are you saying it's okay for me to marry a man like this?
Well, you know that's true, but...
What's wrong with you? Isn't Haruka important to you?
Pressed by his wife and daughter, the father looked indecisive, sweating nervously. Seeing this, Tsukio, who had observed this family for years, seemed to understand.
Don't tell me you've already spent all your savings on the breakup settlement fee. Huh? What are you talking about? That can't be true, right, dear?
Well, Kazuya just wouldn't give up. Haruka said she definitely wanted to break up, and I thought if she married Mitsuki, there'd be no problem.
So it's true?
Sorry, but I thought if it was Haruka, Mitsuki would agree right away.
I see. By the way, how much did you pay for the settlement?
Asked by his wife, the father averted his gaze, sweating profusely. He remained silent, but unable to withstand the pressure from his wife and daughter, he mumbled in a small voice.
10 million?
10 million? What's the meaning of this? You don't need that much for a breakup settlement.
That's why I offered the standard amount, but Kazuya wouldn't give up. But I told Mom and Haruka that Dad would take care of it. And then he started talking about calling a lawyer, so I thought, how about 10 million?
So what if you paid that much money? You're already retired and jobless.
That's true, but if Haruka marries Mitsuki, it won't be a problem, right?
Even that got rejected. Right.
Mitsuki, I'll approve your marriage to Tsukio. In return, you must support our family financially every month. Is that what you were going to say?
Tsukio?
Listen, you seem to be mistaken, but we didn't come here to ask for permission to marry. The reason we came all this way today is to cut ties between me and all of you. Until now, I said I'd given up, but somewhere deep down, I still hoped that if I achieved success at work, maybe I'd receive love like Haruka did. So I kept running away, but...
Saying that, Tsukio glanced at me. Our eyes met, and then she turned her strong gaze toward her family.
That day, the day we came for the marriage greeting, I was truly furious when you insulted Mitsuki. and I was disappointed. To think I have been clinging to people like this. I don't need you people. Not these ugly beggars who insult my precious Mitsuki and then shamelessly try to cozy up.
Ah, she truly has no regrets. There was no hesitation in Tsukio's eyes. Worried about her heart, I fell for her all over again, seeing her like this, and let out a soft sigh. Just then...
What? You're just a pitiful girl who couldn't even get the scraps of love meant for me.
Huh? Couldn't even get the scraps. That's wrong. These people are just bundles of narcissism. They doted on you because you were an idiot who listened to them and sided with them, right? Otherwise, they'd love their daughters equally, wouldn't they? Tsukio, who is beautiful, smart, and successful, is clearly a better woman than you, and she's their daughter just like you.
That's not...
Anyway, we've gotten sidetracked. I will marry Tsukio regardless of your approval or disapproval. When we marry, Tsukio becomes part of the Kiryu family. Therefore, I ask that you refrain from any unsolicited interference from now on.
Of course, we won't provide any financial support. It seems that for elites like you, a daughter marrying someone like him isn't important anyway.
The family who were supposed to be in-laws fell completely silent. Leaving them in their despair, we left the house. Afterwards, what happened to the in-laws whose savings had completely vanished? As if their previous closeness was a lie, every day became a storm of insults.
How long are you going to be unemployed? Failing even part-time interviews? There's a limit to incompetence.
What did you say? Then why don't you work and bring in some money?
Fed up with it, Haruka tried to leave home, but was guilt-tripped about repaying their kindness with betrayal and ended up tearfully contributing money to the household. Apologies came to Tsukio's phone, but Tsukio blocked them completely. There was no way she could trust them now. A year and a half passed. Kazuya, who had received a large settlement, apparently decided to start his own business. But why? Before I knew it, I was drowning in debt. He failed spectacularly and was burdened with debt. The circumstances are different between a large company with an established foundation and a startup building from 0 to 1. It seems he didn't understand that at all. He tried to get back together with Haruka, only to be harshly rejected, told she didn't need any more burdens. Ah, it hurts. Tsukio, help me.
What are you doing? Seriously, I didn't know people actually did that. And it's my husband.
Meanwhile, Tsukio and I finally got married a year ago. Now, 6 months after the wedding, we're in Rome for our honeymoon. You gotta do this at least once when you come to Rome, right? Okay, where should we go next?
Honestly. Well then, shall we go get some pizza? I'm curious about the difference from Naples. Which of all the cities we visited made the deepest impression on you?
Each one made its own impression. Rome. By all means, Rome. I shall cherish my visit here in memory as long as I live.
And may I ask why?
Because I'm with the person I love right now. I love you, Tsukio. Meeting you has made me the happiest man in the world.
I love you too. But this is the last time I'm putting up with this routine. Unlike in Roman holiday, we can stay together like this forever.
I'm sure there's still so much we don't know about each other. In the long years to come, how many new things will I learn about Tsukio? There might be times when our differences confuse us, but I'm sure we can overcome them together.
That one's out of range. Kaneko, that's way too rude.
Why a hostess club?
Actually, this is my older sister's club. Kaneko? He's not here. He's always wandering off somewhere. My name is Takuto Miyase. 25 years old, I work in sales for a logistics company. Just now, an internal call came in for one of my senior colleagues. and I was trying to transfer it, but I can't find him. I'm sorry, I'll tell him to call you back when he returns. Just as I finished the call and hung up, that very senior caller came back. Oh, Kaneko? Sato from the accounting called you on the internal line earlier.
Sato? Oh, that C-rank face girl, huh? Seriously, she's nagging about receipts. She should just come here directly.
He, Koji Kaneko, is 5 years my senior and notorious for ranking women. It's a mystery how someone so tactless can be the top salesperson. He must put on a complete different persona with clients.
By the way, did you see the receptionist today? Her face is so-so, but she manages to get by on her vibe alone. So she's a B.
Kaneko, that kind of talk is really unpleasant to hear. Could you please stop?
You're a guy too, so you're judging women in your head, aren't you? Don't act like such a saint.
I don't. You're the only one who does that, Kaneko.
Well, I'm one of the most handsome guys in the company, you know? Guess that means we're in different leagues, huh? If an ugly guy did the same thing, you'd be pissed, right? It's only okay because it's me.
No one thinks it's okay. If you keep doing things like that, I'll come back to bite you someday. My colleagues, our superiors, and I have warned him many times like this. But he never listens.
Oh right, some urgent work just came up today that I have to deal with. I have to entertain clients later too, so sorry. But could you take care of this work for me?
It's unusual for you since you always finish your work earlier. But okay, if it's for client entertainment, I guess it can be helped.
You're a lifesaver. I'm the prince of the sales world, so I'm gonna make an appearance, you know?
Don't you mean an eccentric species? Though I was cursing him inwardly, I decided to take it on, since it wasn't an amount of work I couldn't finish within overtime.
Nice to meet you. My name is Megumi Kasahara. I may cause some trouble, but I look forward to working with you.
Just as the season was getting warm enough to make us sweat on our morning commutes, a mid-career hire, a woman joined our company. She greeted us in a voice so quiet it was barely audible, giving me the impression that she was a reserved person. Since we were the same age, I felt a sense of camaraderie with her. But then... I have a bad feeling about this. Just as I expected, Kaneko started talking to me while standing next to me during the morning assembly.
That one's out of range.
What? How can you say something like that in a place like this? Kaneko, that's way too rude.
Come on. She's beneath even being ranked. There's nothing to praise about her. I bet her personality is crap too.
That's enough. How can you say such a thing about a colleague?
What's your problem? It's the truth, isn't it?
How is it the truth? You don't know anything about Kazuhara, so how can you say that?
You can judge a person 100% by their looks.
I tried to warn her more strongly after that, but it didn't seem to get through to Kaneko. I hope Kazuhara didn't hear what he said earlier. Saying something like that right in front of her, just because she's a little ways off, I really question Kaneko's nerve.
Excuse me, I just...
Huh? She suddenly stood up from her seat, so I decided to go check on her while pretending to get copies. And then... Whoa, what is this? It's like a mushroom mountain. A mushroom forest of energy?
Oh yes, don't mind me. I'm being called out of range on my first day just made mushrooms sprout instead of making me laugh. There are king trumpet mushrooms, maitake, and shimeji mushrooms too.
That might save on food expenses. Wait, no, that's not the point. I'm really sorry. That guy's rudeness is his default setting. It's best not to mind him.
No, it's fine. I know it myself. I'm just a musty woman anyway.
Nobody said anything like that, right? If you're free, would you like to grab dinner after work? Seeing her put herself down like that, I felt like I wanted to take her to a certain place. Look, you and I are the only 25-year-olds in this department. we're the only ones the same age. So think of it as a welcome party.
But if you go with me, the food will taste bad.
It won't. Okay, I'll see you later then. Is it okay if I pick the place?
Oh, okay.
And so, the place I brought her to was, believe it or not, a hostess club.
Why a hostess club?
Actually, this is my older sister's club.
Your sisters?
Good evening. Nice to meet you. I'm Takuto's older sister, Kana.
Good evening. Nice to meet you.
My sister Kana, who's 6 years older than me, was originally just a hostess. But she started to get interested in management. And about a year ago, she opened her own club. And I'm sometimes half forced to come here, and every time my sister and the hostesses tease me.
Oh my, she seems like a nice girl. Please take care of Takuto.
Huh?
No way! Takuto has a girlfriend? Ah! It's true! Today's a festival!
Whoa! It's a flood of beauty.
That's not it. I came here today because I have a favor to ask of you. Sis, and everyone. My sister and the hostesses made a huge fuss, thinking I brought my girlfriend. I somehow managed to explain today's events to my sister and the others while they were swarming Kasahara.
What's with that guy? He's the worst. Who does he think he is?
But you know, there are people like that who love to rank others.
But it can't be helped. It's an undeniable fact that I'm plain.
Why would you say something like that?
That's obviously because I'm not cute, isn't it?
That's... Anyone can look good if they dress up and wear makeup.
That's something for girls who are already cute to begin with, right? If someone like me tries, I'll just get laughed at. That's why it's only natural for me to be called out of range. Though, I was surprised to hear it on my very first day at work.
As Kasahara let out a self-deprecating sigh, we were at a loss for words. But among us, there was one person who couldn't stay silent.
I see. Then why don't you just stay like that for the rest of your life?
Hey sis, your tone?
Is life fun with that cynical, it's useless no matter what I do, so I won't do anything attitude?
But it's a fact that I'm not cute.
No buts or howevers. Are you okay with that, Kasahara? Are you okay with just getting older while staying servile? Turning into a sullen, unlovable old woman that no one wants to be around?
I don't like my personality either. But even so, what am I supposed to do?
Leave that to us. Takuto, you brought Kasahara here for that reason, didn't you?
That's my sister for sure.
What should I do?
Leave it to us, the professionals of beauty. All you need is just a little bit of courage, Kasahara.
And so, what they called beauty lessons by my sister and the others began. It was a bit forceful, but it was also painful for me to see Kasahara continue to be ridiculed by Kaneko. From then on, Kasahara steadily showed the results of my sister's lessons.
Then the person in charge will contact you again later. Yes. Goodbye.
She stopped wearing glasses and changed her hairstyle. That's true. But I feel like something else, something more, is different. I heard Kasahara goes to the hostess club every day before it opens for business. But my sister hasn't told me the details of the lessons.
If you knew, you'd be looking for what changed, right? Try looking at her without any prior knowledge.
Because she told me that, I was genuinely impressed by Kasahara's growth. Kasahara, how are things going with my sister?
She gives me heartfelt advice every day. It's tough, but it feels like loving guidance. Lately, I've started to feel a bit more confident, like maybe I've been able to change little by little.
I see. But it's not just because you received advice. It's also thanks to your own strength, isn't it, Kasahara?
You think so? I'm not so sure about that. But there was one thing that made me really happy.
Something that made you happy?
Kana and the others taught me that appearance isn't just about fashion or makeup. But that posture and the way you speak can also make a big difference. So I tried to be conscious of it myself, you see? And when I did, my colleagues told me, your vibe seems brighter somehow.
Really? That's great!
It was just that, but it was the first time something like that had happened to me, so it was a big deal and made me really happy.
The change I had sensed in her was in the impression she gave, stemming from her posture, tone of voice, and way of speaking. Furthermore, the guidance from my sister and the others, combined with that small comment from her colleagues, created a synergetic effect, shaping her into the confident person she was now. Yeah, you've become really attractive, Kasahara.
Huh?
No, what I just said was...
Hey, you're on the clock. What is slacking off for?
With Kaneko's arrival, the slightly embarrassing atmosphere was broken, and I felt a strange mix of relief and disappointment. Sorry, Kaneko.
Well, it's not good to chat too much during work hours, but Kasahara suddenly became so polished, so maybe they just got carried away?
Huh? Polished? In what way?
In what way? Can't you see how different she is?
She still looks plain and gloomy to me, though. Maybe you should get your contact lens prescription checked.
What's with him? So unpleasant. Kasahara, don't worry about it. It's best to just ignore people like that.
Okay.
It's not like Kasahara is training to move up from Kaneko's outer range category, but his persistently condescending attitude made me and my colleagues frown.
Seriously, all of them going on about how she's polished and stuff? Her face is still that of a plain girl, huh?
After work that day, Kaneko was walking through the entertainment district when he spotted Kasahara ahead of him.
That out-of-range girl. What's he doing in a place like this?
Kasahara, on her way to her lessons with my sister and the others, went straight into the hostess club before it opened. Kaneko's eyes widened as if he'd seen something unbelievable. And then he took out his phone.
I saw it! This is pretty bad, isn't it? I just love this kind of gossip.
The next day, Kasahara, holding some documents, uncharacteristically approached Kaneko.
Excuse me, I think this item here might be incorrect.
Huh? Why are you telling me that?
Well, I heard you were the one who prepared it, so I thought I should let you know.
That's something you can just fix quickly yourself, can't you? Are you think you're lucky for finding my mistake or something?
I wasn't thinking anything like that. I'm sorry if I offended you.
Huh. You act all quiet, but you're a dangerous woman. Just as expected from someone working as a hostess. I even have a photo, look.
Saying that, Kaneko took out his phone and showed the picture from yesterday.
Entering a hostess club before it opens for business? What could that possibly mean?
Kaneko deliberately raised his voice so everyone around could hear, causing other employees to look over, wondering what was going on.
Our company prohibits side jobs, right? So, why are you working at a hostess club? Shall I guess? You're saving up for plastic surgery, aren't you? There's a limit to how much you can fix with just your vibe, so now you're trying to resort to plastic surgery. Honestly, this is why those outer-range types with bad foundations and plain looks are so troublesome.
If this continues, other employees might misunderstand Kasahara. I immediately stood up to explain the truth. That's not true. This hostess club is my sister's place. Kasahara was coming here to get advice from my sister and the other staff on how to change herself. There's no truth to her having a side job. Kaneko, you always put people down based on speculation. And you don't even try to consider the effort they might be putting in behind the scenes. You'll probably never understand how a woman feels when someone calls her out of range.
Huh? How would a naturally handsome guy like me understand something like that? Besides, it's just a light joke. So it's their fault for taking it seriously. If you can't take a joke, you clearly have no composure.
Your remarks aren't considered jokes because they're not socially acceptable. Don't try to make it the listener's problem.
What did you say?
Also, Kaneko, you go to my sister's hostess club too, don't you? It seems you're expensing your hostess club bills as client entertainment.
Huh?
Well, my sister told me there was someone who ranked people. I checked if there were others like that, and it turned out to be Kaneko, and also a customer at my sister's club. That day, Kaneko pounded off work on me, saying it was for client entertainment. You were actually going to the hostess club, weren't you? I even remember the exact date. It was so rare for Kaneko to ask me for a favor.
Well, the client is a huge fan of hostess clubs, and I didn't want to, but I had no choice.
You were alone, didn't you? I can't ask my sister to check the club's security cameras, you know?
So you lied and expensed your personal hostess club bills? Isn't that a crime?
No, it's not. This is market research.
What kind of research would a logistics company salesperson do at a hostess club?
Like, what kind of alcohol is popular and stuff?
As if to drown out Kaneko's excuses, the sound of a ringing phone echoed through the department.
Kaneko, Sato from accounting is on the internal line for you.
What? At a time like this? Yes, this is Kaneko speaking. Yes, about the, receipts, you say? Yes. I'll be right there.
Behind Kaneko, who was frantically answering the phone, Kasahara was gripping a receiver. It seems that while I was confronting Kaneko, she had contacted the accounting department. Furthermore, Kaneko was then summoned by his superior and didn't return to his desk for the rest of the day. Today was a mess, huh? You must be tired.
A little. But hopefully this will teach Kaneko a lesson and he'll quiet down, right?
I wonder about that. It was a Friday, so we decided to pop into the hostess club for a bit before it opened, and we're heading there. Well, considering his fudging expenses, I think the chances of him staying at the company are pretty low.
Oh, is Takuto with you today?
There's something I wanted to talk about. Kaneko got caught in by the higher-ups today about the expenses.
Oh, really? I didn't expect it to be resolved so quickly. With this, Kasahara won't have to worry anymore, right?
Yes.
We gathered around the table and breathed a sigh of relief. Or so I'd like to say, but...
Sir, we're not open yet.
Shut up! They're here, aren't they? I know they are. Let me in.
Suddenly, angry shouts echoed from the club's entrance.
Owner, we have a problem. That ranking guy is rampaging, demanding to be let in.
Get out of my way!
Kaneko, who had forced his way into the club, began to unilaterally vent his resentment towards us.
Sir, please refrain from causing trouble for the club.
Huh. To think you and him were siblings? I was completely fooled.
No, that was just a coincidence.
It's all your fault. I was so humiliated today, and on top of that, I got caught in by the higher-ups. Damn it! For me, the arrival top salesperson, to be looked at like that by others is humiliating. You guys, with your mediocre looks and personalities, Miyase, you're out of range. Your sister, you're out of range too. And the plain girl is obviously out of range. All of you are subhuman. You're all lower ranked than me. Out of range trash to stay out of range and out of my sight.
I was dumbfounded, wondering what he was talking about since he came here himself. And it was at that moment.
Doesn't it feel empty, ranking people like that?
What? Who are you to talk? when you're not even in a position to judge others.
Kaneko, you're the one who should realize you're not in a position to judge people.
Honestly, I was surprised, even though her inner self had brightened. I never thought Kasahara would address the ranking issue so directly and head-on.
Actually, Kaneko, I'm grateful to you. I've spent my life worrying about what others think, living in a servile way. But because you called me out of range, I was able to meet Miyase, Kana, and all the hostesses. Thanks to that, I can now live positively. This is the most fun I've ever had in my life. Thank you.
Kasahara,
Kasahara, you've become so admirable.
Yeah.
standing tall without fear. As she thanked Kaneko, she looked incredibly radiant. It felt like a little embarrassing, but I could truly feel that her encounters with us had changed her.
What are you trying to wrap things up all by yourself for? What I want to say is...
Okay, stop. That's enough. Since we're at it, how about you experience it too, being ranked?
Huh?
Your F rank.
Kaneko was momentarily stunned, but perhaps, understanding the meanings of my sister's words, his expression quickly twisted in anger.
Don't mess with me! No matter how you look at it, I'm S rank.
You S rank? Save your jokes for your face.
That's right. You're pretty disliked as an unpleasant customer at our club, you know. You just sip on canned drinks without ordering proper alcohol, and your way of teasing isn't funny at all.
And despite that, you pester us to go out with you after hours.
Ugh, what a pain of a customer. So, you were the type who doesn't know how to have fun respectfully, Kaneko.
Shut up! How people have fun at Hostess Club is up to them!
Be quiet, boy. We hostesses would never normally rank even the worst customers. We always provide the best service, treating them as valued customers. But you see, that only applies to customers who observe basic morals and manners. A troublesome customer like you, you're not even worth ranking as a customer. Even F rank is too presumptuous for you.
You mere hostesses! How dare you treat a paying customer like this?
Looking like steam was about to come out of his ears, Kaneko picked up one of the club's furnishings and raised it.
A dump like this? Our wreckage who can't even do business.
Excuse me, there's a man shouting in the hostess club, and he looks like he's about to get violent.
Hey, who are you calling?
Who else? The police, of course.
It was a lie, so hang up the phone right now.
Is that so? By the way, I was lying too. I wasn't actually calling anyone from the start.
You tricked me!
With an attitude like that, I might as well really report you. In the first place, you're trespassing, and I can press charges even if you don't get violent. Just as Kaneko fell silent, my sister clapped her hands sharply.
Throw this person out.
Bouncers in black suits came from the back of the club and firmly gripped Kaneko by both arms.
What the? Let me go!
You're banned. Don't ever come near our club again. Next time, I'll really call the police.
I'm not F rank! I'm S! I'm a person worth that much!
Kaneko, obsessed with ranks until the very end, was like a demon trapped by evaluations. Afterward, at the company, a detailed investigation by the accounting and sales departments revealed that Kaneko had been filling expenses for fictitious client entertainment. Of course, he was fired from the company and also sued for damages.
Honestly, I'm relieved he's gone. Even if I pretended not to care, he was seriously irritating.
All the employees who had been made uncomfortable by Kaneko's ranking were overjoyed.
I'm not some F rank! I'm S rank!
Also, for some reason, Kaneko apparently dived into the nightlife world. The possibility of jumping into the host industry in his 30s and succeeding isn't zero. However, That old guy, he calls himself S rank, but his human rank is rock bottom, right? That's why his sales don't grow. He couldn't respect customers and wouldn't probably listen to his younger superiors or seniors. As a result, his sales have apparently been the lowest ever since he joined. Looked down upon by his colleagues, Kaneko must have finally keenly felt his own arrogance.
I'm so glad you talked to me back then, Miyase.
As for us, our interactions continued even after the commotion, and now we often meet outside of the hostess club as well. Kazuhara no longer puts herself down and is shining even brighter.
I'm really grateful. So, with this newfound confidence, there's something I want to say. If it's okay with you, would you go out with me?
Yeah, of course.
What? Are you really sure? You're not just saying that because it's hard to refuse?
Seeing how hard you work, Kazuhara, I don't think there's anyone who wouldn't fall for your dedication. Actually, more than that, I was planning to ask you today.
No way. Oh man, I should have waited a little longer. I jumped the gun. It's so embarrassing.
Everyone has their own standards of beauty, but one shouldn't use that as a shield to criticize people to their faces. Because everyone who tries their best to change is equally beautiful.